Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. And on today's show, I have with me
Lucy Williams.
Alright, Lucy, can you please introduce yourself to the audience?
Hello everyone, my name is Lucy Williams. I'm 15 years old and I attend the CMIT Academy North High School located in Maryland.
Alright, so Lucy just read this book, Debt-Free Degree by Anthony O'Neill. On today's show, I would ask Lucy a few questions about some of the insights she gleaned from the book. So I suspect that you and your friends, 11th grade, you've been talking about college. What have you been talking about with your friends regarding college?
My friends and I, we've been talking about where we want to go to college, the fun, the experiences we want to have, the friends we want to make, and etc. But what concerns me is that we really don't talk about how we're paying for college. We just rely on our parents and, we just like, oh, I'm going to college. That's that.
And that's where this book comes in.
Yes, right. Exactly. My sister and my brother-in-law gave me the book as a Christmas present, which I'm really grateful for. So thank you.
If you were to give us a brief summary of this book, what would you say this book is about?
I think it's pretty much in the name, Debt-Free Degree. It's about attending college, getting a degree without debt. That's like student loans. You have no student loans, you have no credit card debts, and etc.
Awesome. So we know that, as you might know, America today is in a debt crisis. The student loan burden is weighing heavily on the economy. The incoming administration has actually promised to, forgive up to the tune of 50,000 per student in student loans. But who knows if that's ever going to happen? And we want to be part of the solution. And one of the ways we can be part of the solution is to stop taking out student loans. And that is why we think that reviewing this book, reading this book, making sure that people in our circle have access to this information is very, very critical moving forward. What did you find in the book that surprised you the most? What statistic did you find in the book that really surprised you?
The statistic that surprises me is the amount of money people have to pay at the end of college after getting their degree. It doesn't leave them with enough space to enjoy their life or their income or the degree that they earn. They have to use that job that they get from that degree to pay off student loans, which is very surprising. I think the average per person in America is $100,000.
That's a lot of money.
Yes, and they have to pay about $393 per month. That's a lot.
Yeah, and the average salary in the U.S. is less than 60,000.
Yes, and considering maybe they want their own house, they want to move out, and they have a budget. When you graduate from college, you're just figuring out who you are. You're just, trying to balance yourself. So, you might still be thinking like a teenager, I have to pay for recreational stuff, where I have to pay for my food, my clothing and all that. So that's not enough to work with. And it also prevents you from saving in the future. Like, let's say you want to get an emergency fund. You already used half of that money for student loans, and you have to pay for housing, for food, clothing. There's not enough to save for the future.
Who do you think should read the book, and why should they read the book?
Parents should read the book because we mostly rely on our parents to help us financially, especially with big costs like colleges. Students as well, from middle school to high school, even college kids, because it's never too late to save money. Even if you've already taken out loans, there's a way that you can restore yourself. Students should read the book because it informs us the steps we have to take in our current position. For example, I'm currently in 11th grade. I think it's too late, but I still have the SATs, I still have scholarships, I can still apply for scholarships, and I can still decide to go to community college just to save money instead. So I think it has very important information for both parents and students.
Interesting you mentioned community college, because I come from Nigeria, and in Nigeria, community college is the equivalent of what we call polytechnics in Nigeria. And when someone graduates from polytechnic in Nigeria, they are looked down upon. It's not as prestigious as graduating from a university. And
Yeah.
I think the same thing. It's the same thing in the U.S. where someone who goes to community college might be looked on as okay, he's not that smart, he's not that
Educated.
educated because
Yeah.
they went to a 2 year community college. Do you find that to be the case among your peers? Are your peers talking about going to the community college route as a viable route into university, or how do you talk about community college?
In my friend group, we talk about prestigious schools like Yale, Harvard, etc. I before I read this book, I thought community college. What am I going to that for? I was thinking Cornell
Harvard.
University, Harvard
I
University.
know.
I should go to a big school.
University of Michigan.
Yes, yes, exactly. But
Go blue.
but you don't have to go into prestigious schools like that if you can't afford it. Because it's the same type of education, especially in America. We're given these resources. Like you said, you're from Nigeria. People from Nigeria or most countries don't get that opportunity. So if you have the opportunity to go to community college, please take it. You don't have to spend all 4 years in community college. If you can't afford it, if you didn't get enough scores in your SATs, you can go there for 2 years or even a year, bring up your scores, and apply for scholarships. And if you maintain your grades like an A, like A's or B's, and you maintain your GPA, you might get a scholarship to a prestigious school. I think it's smart if you don't have the income or if you don't have the scores to just go through community college for at least 2 years, and then you can transfer into a bigger school. Because what I read from the book actually is that your credits, the credits that you earn from community college, it can be transferred to prestigious schools. You just have to do research,
Right.
to see what schools take what credit. And in some states, actually, it's free. Yeah, you just have to do research. That's why I advise all students, parents, please do some research before going to college. It might be interesting, and you might already plan, I'm going to get student loans. It's easy. I can pay it off. But for every month that you don't pay, there's interest, And sometimes you have other emergency costs that you have to put aside that loan to take care of. So it's really, really important to really think about your roots to attending college or how you're paying for college.
What were some preconceived notions you had about college and funding college that the book changed your mind on, and what questions did you have, and how did the book answer some of those questions?
Like I said earlier, I thought community college, who's going to community college? But now I think it's a smart resource, is a smart resource. And I also thought that we could go to college, or I could go to college without debt. The book just confirmed my thoughts. Yeah.
Did you find a particular passage interesting in the book, and can you read that passage to us?
Yes, actually, on page 36, it says how to save money on college. There are two main ways to pay for college: saving money on school and finding money for school.
Oh, saving money on school and finding money for school. What is the difference between saving money on school and finding money for school?
Saving money on school is reducing the amount of money you have to pay. Yes. And finding money for school is using resources like community college, scholarships, and grants, and doing research, which helps you gain money from maybe FAFSA or the college you apply for.
Okay. So saving money on school is making sure that you are not paying more than you have to. Like
Yes.
choosing to go to in-state university as opposed to going out of state, for example. You're
That's
saving money on
accurate.
school.
Yes.
Attending community college, you're saving money on school. And
Yes.
finding money for school is when you are now in school, when you have the admission and you still have to pay a little bit. How do you source for that money? Scholarships, grants, and things
Yes.
like that.
You also said something interesting about staying in state instead of out of state. For me, I've always wanted to get away from home, go out state, be free from
All of us,
home.
all of
Yes.
us.
Yes. Some people have the option to stay home or go out. Some people don't have the option. So for those of us who have the option, I think it's smarter to stay home or in state if you can, because it saves money. It saves you from working extra for housing, for food, for clothing. You already got it covered. Your parents are there. But if you do have a scholarship, a full ride scholarship for out of state, go ahead, take it.
What are some takeaways that you have from the book?
It's better to pay cash for college. That's one. Number two, student loan is just not worth it. And the third one is that take advantage of your resources. Do some research, especially, I can't stress enough about community college. And now that I've learned about it, I will just keep on talking about it. Community college is, it's really good.
Okay. So what are some of the next steps now? You're in 11th grade. You have one more year before you go to college. What are some next steps that you need to take now to make sure that you achieve your goal of going to college debt free?
I have pretty good grades, so I have to learn to increase and maintain my grades. And I'm currently studying for SATs, for the SATs. That is a very important test.
Right.
It impacts the amount of scholarships and colleges that are interested in you. I will also do more research on grants, and scholarships. I will try to start applying for them because it's good to start from an early age. Even if you're not eligible for it at the time, you can start writing essays, or you can start looking for the right ones that you would want to apply for in the future. Yes, my school actually came up with the idea of us doing SAT prep on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so that was like at least 2 hours, so that was a good resource. And our guidance counselors, they email everything. They send emails about everything, especially to our parents, which I might hate, but it actually helps me because it helps keep me accountable and all.
All right, so this has been a wonderful review of Anthony Oni's debt-free degree, and featuring the wonderful Lucy Williams. Thank you very much for being on today's show.
Thank you for having me. I hope to be here soon. Again.
You hope to be here soon?
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for coming, and thank you everybody for watching today's show, and I'll see you on the next one with another wonderful guest, maybe my wife.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Share the video. Like the video. Send it.
Hug the video if you can to show the love.
Smash the like button. Destroy the like button. Annihilate the
Hammer
like
it down.
You get what I'm saying?
Kick it.
All right. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
BTS behind the scenes.
Oh. Hello.
Yes, my friends and I, we've engaged in conversations. We'll engage in conversations including college. No, that involves college.
Okay, awesome.
Yes, my friends and I, we talk about college all the time. We engage. Sorry.
You know the you'd big one.
Engage. Engagement. Engagement galore.
Let's do that again.
We are espoused and we are betrothed.